Where do you think the Chicago Bears will place in the NFC North? Do you think they'll be in the top two where they compete with the Packers and the Lions, or do you think they're going to wind up in the bottom two trying to not finish last again? Now, a lot of people are going to say it really depends on Caleb Williams, but I think it's going to more depend on the defense. If the defense takes a step back from how they performed at the end of last year, they are going to be probably third, possibly fourth. Okay, we can expect Caleb Williams to struggle at times. He's a rookie after all, and playing in the NFL is a whole different ball game than playing at USC or even Oklahoma. And so I think that if the Bears and their defense don't get as many takeaways as they did last year, they are going to struggle to beat the Lions, and they're going to struggle to certainly beat the Packers. Now, I'm very interested in what you think. I personally I think they're going to finish third again. Okay, they are going to be obviously improved on offense with all of the different offensive weapons, but the Lions have improved both offensively and defensively, and for whatever reason, the Bears just don't want to beat the Green Bay Packers. But in my personal opinion, I think they're going to finish third in the division. Now, finishing third in the division could be good enough to contend for a playoff spot. Quite honestly, the NFC North is probably the first or second strongest division in the NFL. And I think they're going to wind up finishing third. I've said this a few different times. Depending on how the first four games go, this could be a really fun season for Chicago and Chicago Bear fans, or it can be a very, very challenging season, especially if you look at the last half of the schedule. It's all NFC North and teams that have contended for making the playoffs, including the Super Bowl runner-up. So this, I think, is going to be a really challenging season. I know a lot of Bear fans are excited, but I think the Bear fans, me included, I think we're a year early. Okay, I think we're a year early from seriously contending for a playoff spot. I think there are still too many holes on the defensive line. I would argue they probably need at least 2 defensive linemen and 1 defensive end. We don't know a ton. We don't know how strong the offensive line is going to be. And quite honestly, we don't know how Caleb Williams is going to perform. Everything looks good when they're in shorts. However, when it gets real, that's when we'll find out how great everybody is. We're going to probably spend the first few games, Chicago Bears are going to spend the first few games learning about themselves when they really can't afford to, okay? If you look at the schedule, and I'm not saying by any means that the Bears are going to be a bad team. They're going to be very competitive. I just think that there's so many new faces. There's new faces in important places, quarterback, and they're going to spend the first 4 games learning about themselves when they need to be winning, okay? The first 6 games going into the bye, they have to go 4-2. If they don't go 4-2, you can kiss really any chances of making the playoffs goodbye. Of course, I'll play this back if I'm wrong, but I'm curious to hear what you think. Where will they finish in the NFC North? Not making the playoffs, but where will they finish? First, second, or third? Comment down below, first, second, or third. And make sure you subscribe to the Bear Claw podcast, where we talk all things Chicago Bears.